I will be voting against this bill today, and I'm proud to support the member for Stretham's reasoned amendment to stop the bill in its tracks. The pernicious bill fails to protect children and victims in trafficking, fails to ensure safe routes for refugees, fails to treat people with humanity, and it disgracefully expands the government's hostile environment. The bill, if enacted, would mean that anyone who has been put in a desperate situation of having to arrive in the UK on a small boat because of this government's failure to facilitate safe routes would have their asylum claim deemed inadmissible. This would mean that a Home Office won't even consider the claim, no matter how strong an application may be. Clause 2 in the bill means that the government can seek to remove anyone who does not arrive via the specific route or with specific documentation. These requirements the government knows are next to impossible for somebody fleeing violence and persecution to meet. The 1951 United Nations Convention, to which the UK is a signatory, states explicitly that refugees should not be penalised solely by reason of unlawful entry or because, being in need of refuge and protection, they remain illegally in the country. As the United Nations points out, most people fleeing war and persecution are simply unable to access required passports and visas. There are no safe and legal routes available to them. Denying them access to asylum on this basis undermines the very purpose for which the Refugee Convention was established. Trade unions and human rights campaigners have rightly condemned this bill. Under this bill, everyone who is subjected to the removal duty can also potentially be detained. This House should be doing everything in its power to ensure that people fleeing persecution and violence are given the safety, care and support they need, not inflicting further trauma and harm on them. Is this really what we have become? It shames those in this House who have gone before us. This anti-refugee bill, Mr Speaker, must be voted down. It's inhumane, immoral and, if I was a better man, illegal. The TUC has said the government's proposal and language used to describe it are divisive and would stoke tension. We have seen evidence of this on the board of my constituency in Knowsley last month. The language used is so dangerous and damaging to our communities. To finish, I would make an observation, Mr Speaker. It's not the people in boats who should fear coming to our shores, but the elite in the private jets, who with this government are responsible for the unequal, broken society we live in, where millions shiver and starve in their own homes, seeing no future for themselves and their families. I urge this House to reject the politics of division and reject the bill which shames this place and everything it's supposed to stand for.
Scotland!